Hello, Tracy Crowder here from Splash Fabric, and I've always wanted to make a swoopy bag, and so this month we're making a swoopy bag. It's a banana bag. I am so happy with this bag. It's got a lot of shape and it's funky. It's fun. It carries a lot of stuff. It's a perfect size. I made one in a mix and match of different fabrics, and I think that's really fun too. You can use webbing. We made one with black webbing, but then most of them we're making with webbing made out of laminated cotton, which is a really fabulous way to go because you don't have to buy anything extra. I'm going to show you how to make these, and it's going to be one of your favorites. I'd like to hear how it goes. Okay? Let's get sewing. Okay, you print out all 4 pieces of paper, and then what we're going to do is cut these out and tape them together. So this is the banana bag. Here's our banana bag, and it actually looks like a banana bag. So this is the side body is this curvy shape here. And then we have a piece on the bottom that's very long, and that is this whole assembly. These pieces have to get taped together. And then this is placed on a fold on the fabric. So you need 2 of these top pieces and only 1 of these in the paper. And then you need, this is the strap tab, and that won't be there, but the strap tab goes on top. And this gets sewn down at the bottom, at the end of the zipper, like that, okay? So now we have, these are the 3 shapes that you're gonna end up with. The top strap and the bag base and the banana bag body. And I just took 2 and taped them together. So this is the layout. We have 2 layers of the strap. So the top of the bag has 2 straps. One is longer, one is shorter. This one's 18 inches. This is 2 pieces of 5 inches by 18 inches. That makes a 36-inch long strap. And then you can have a cute little tie, just like that. And that's why we made the bottom back side of this come proud here, so we can make 3 of these. And I'm going to square up these ends. And then this we're just going to cut these out. This is the outside of the bag. So we have 2 of the banana bag body. Here's the strap tab that goes over the top end of the zipper. And this is the bag base that is placed on a fold, and then you just cut 1 of these out of this whole long shape that goes along the bottom. So now we have, this is going to be the bottom piece, and we're going to cut it out of the inside fabric, which is this purple. And then this is the body, the side, and then the pocket is going to be made by taking this line and folding it down so that you're left with the shape that'll be the pockets on the inside. And you want 2 of those out of the inside lining piece, which is this, right? I've stitched all the way along the outside of the bag. Well, that one didn't get attached, but it's good enough because basically they're all sewn together. So it's easier to work with this unit when you're going to be putting on the bottom piece and the zipper. Okay, you know what time it is? It's zipper time. And I know for many of you, this is a point of trepidation. But don't worry, I'm going to show you another way to do this. This is my favorite zipper trick. and it works no matter which way you're putting the pull on. So I'm going to cut this at an angle, oops, so that I'm cutting right to, see, I just cut this a little bit of the zipper down, and then I have something I can pull on that side. And so now I can put the zipper on, and I'm going to put one on backwards because I'm going to have it so that this zipper opens in the middle of the bag. So we feed it down. It's already ready to go. Now it's super easy to pull. See that? So I put the square side, the butt side down first. Now I'm going to feed the other side on. And this time I'm going to put the round side. The round side goes on one at a time. And so I'll put it down to about where the V shape is. I'll put these close to up here so then we know if we're getting it buckled in the middle. And now I'm feeding the right side in. And I'm going to pull both of those. In fact, I'll put them on the table and just hold them down. And that is so easy. It's really easy, people. It's really, if you put it on the table, it's better. Okay, now we have zippers that meet in the middle. You can do just one zipper. It's totally fine. On the ends, I'm going to sew it. I'm going to just sew it down. Now, just so you know, I started opening it there, but I'll just sew that closed. Perfect. Because we have a little extra for a dangle. You don't want to cut your zippers too short. It's okay if you cut them too long, because you can always chop them off. But if you cut them too short, you have to start over. Okay, now, oh, this is the right side. So now we put one side of the zipper down. And see how there's going to be a little bit extra on both ends? So you can pin or you can clip. Sometimes this bump here will give us a little trouble. So I'm going to put these all the way to the end here. And then when we're about to get to this point, we'll push them back this way. That's your trick. You want to put this exactly opposite of this line. So that this line and this line, you want to pin it right there. And this time I'll sew it the other way, but it's fine because I can feel this bump. You want to put this presser foot exactly running along that bump. There we go. Zipper's on. Now what we're going to do is top stitch all the way along both sides. So now you have these two shapes, and they are going to go upside down at both zipper ends. And you're going to kind of straighten this bit out. Let's see. So we want the middle of them. So I'll do my little finger fold trick to show me where is the middle of the zipper. And that will go in the middle of the zipper. And I think I'm going to use pins here. You shouldn't be afraid of pinning our fabric. You can kind of heal it with your finger afterwards if it's in a place, a pinhole is in a place you really don't want it. But, you know, you're perforating the fabric to make, to sew it. And so a couple pinholes here and there don't really hurt. In addition to that, okay, now that one's going to go there. So I'll put this one out of the way and sew the first side. See how that's a little bit off? I don't care. Okay, you may know me well enough to know I would say that, but it's all going to come out in the wash. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and top stitch this while I'm at it. Now I'm going to mark the center bottom on both this bottom piece of your bag and the bottom of the bag sides. So that is the place where it has to meet. Now once you see how this all goes together, you'll see why I wanted to sew these pieces together. So we'll start with one side. Oh, I didn't mark that one yet. Okay. Okay, the old foldaroo right here. Oh, we already have a seam down that center. Huh. For the pocket. The pocket. My little boy used to call it a pocket. We're going to call it a pocket from now on. He's 35. Now. Okay. There. That's one. We'll do one at a time. And what I find is helpful is I start at the middle, and you can clip this or pin it all the way around the outside. But I'm just going to follow this curve all the way up to there. And I'm starting in the middle bottom. Here we go. So now it's starting to look like a bag. So just push those little zippers out of the way, and look at that. Okay, before we turn it inside out, you're going to top stitch around this bottom piece. And we're going to reach inside the bag, and we're going to get as far up into this corner as we can, because we want to top stitch all the way up to where this top piece goes on. So basically at the zipper line, the end of the zipper line. We want to top stitch from there all the way down, because This triangle bit, that's going to get its own top stitching. So you just need to go to that point. Okay, I'm going to push the seam allowance towards this, towards the bottom piece. Just be consistent. If you start pushing it one way, push it that way for the whole bag. But I like to push it towards the middle. Okay, get my thread organized here. There we go. Okay. Now I'm starting at that where this other seam is, and make sure you're not sewing you know, it's really easy to get, see, that was folded. I knew it felt too bulky. I have sewn so many times parts of the back of the bag or this part or something, and then I have to take that stitching out. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Okay, up close and personal. I'm showing you exactly how I'm doing this. So now I'll do the second side of the bag. So I'm going to get all the way in here. I'm starting right where this top bit is sewn on here, on the other side. This top piece. And then you just want to make sure you keep pushing the seam allowance to the inside. What's the middle, right? See, this is how wide it is. You want to push the seam allowances toward each other at the bottom. And keep opening this seam so it makes a nice, smooth finish. I'm just following the edge of my presser foot. A word about my tearing the thread. I know I'm not supposed to do this. I was taught not to when I was 12 in a sewing class, but I do it. If I tear them both evenly, it's just faster. And I have everything backstitched. If it pulls out, I have to go back and put another little stitch in there, but usually I don't. So now what we're going to do is iron. It's an ironing time. So this might be easier if you have a long ironing board, but I have this little situation and I kind of like it. So I'm going to first fold them in half, and I will use paper when I'm ironing on the laminated side of the fabric because I find it's less sticky. It's not going to burn it. The iron isn't going to burn the fabric, but the stickiness is a little weird. Okay, like you just have to pat it. If you're not going to use a piece of paper, you could use a piece of fabric. These are the straps, right? You're making the straps. So you want them to be 1.5 inches wide, and we're going to fold it in so it's 1.5 inches on both sides of the middle, from the middle, right? So that goes there. The whole thing is going to be 3 inches. And we're going to fold it in on itself and stitch it down to make our straps. It's strap time. We're going to sew these on and then your bag is going to be done. Amazing. Okay, so these are 3 straps that are the same size, obviously. And I'll do the first one, which will be the 18-inch one, and then I'm going to sew these 2 together to make 36-inch side. I know what I didn't do. Well, we'll just do that now. Okay, I am just going to sew down one side And it is so easy, so well set up. And then when we get towards this edge, you could do this before. You really could do this before, but I'm doing it now. So I'm going to make a little bit of a slant to this end. I think it's just a little bit cuter. Okay, so that gets cut off at about that angle, whatever that angle is. And then these get folded back in. This gets folded down. I can do it. I can do it. Looky there. Looky there. You just got to contain those ends. Okay, don't do this at home. But I got it now. I got some nice points going on there. Okay. And up to the point. Up to that corner. You know, you can do this all from the outside and turn the whole thing and do your little pokey hooky things and all that. But I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to wing it here and it's going to be fine. So that's exactly what you can do. Perfect. Okay, there's one side done. Now these, we're going to put these together. That's what we're going to do. Here we go, back to back, front to front. These are pretty sides kissing. And we're going to sew them together, just like that. Now, to do this one, what I'm going to do, this is going to be better. I'm going to fold it over and stitch it at an angle. You just watch. This is going to be so much easier. I think it's going to work. We'll find out. Okay. Yes. This, people, is how you make this this angled end. Alrighty. Now we get the point turner problem. I'm going to use my little Bianni's hooky thing. I love this thing. This is what you get for having quality sewing teach with my fabric, because every once in a while I go in and make a delivery and then I have to buy something. This was a great tool. I use that a lot. Okay. Now, that was way easier. So that's already ready to go. So we're going to go up one side, over the top, and down the other side, just like going to Grandma's house. Okay, it's the final step. Now, what we're going to do is put one side in here and push it down so it has, you can feel it. I have about 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to give it like maybe 1/2 inch. I just think I'll pin it so that I can make sure I get it in the right place. Ooh, that's a lot of layers. Okay, I'm not going to pin it. I'm just going to stitch it and hold it flat. See, it kind of wobbled. Here, you want to make sure that you have the zipper all going up inside. This is your little zipper pocket casing. So we're going to sew it all down. We're going to lock it down. Go down that side. And I'm going to sew right on top of that other line of stitching. that I made earlier. Because I want it to know that's where it goes. So we want to put this tab in. I've got a little goofy thready thing going on there, so I'll just hide that. Okay. No puckers this time. I'm going to go back and forth here because I don't want this part pulling out. This is one of the cutest bags in the world, I just want to say. And it's pink, you guys, it's pink. And it has purple on the inside with lots of pockets and lots of space. Okay, so the last step is to tie this. I tied it so it was twisted before, so I'm going to retie it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a slouchy bag. But I'm just going to make a square knot. Do you remember a square knot from Girl Scouts? I do. Well, I did a bunch of macrame as a kid, too. What do you think? Makers are makers, right? So then, that's it. Done. Okay, now that you've sewn them all, the only question is, which are you going to give away first? Or which are you going to keep? Okay, as an outro, the only thing that I would change about this is I might figure out how to sew a phone pocket on the outside. After walking around with it for a couple days, I've noticed that I have to put my phone on the inside. Now that keeps it very safe, but if it had a little sleeve pocket on the front, that would be kind of cool. Other than that, I'm so happy with this bag, and I hope that you are too. And it really is one of our favorites. Follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook Insiders group, and you can always get more fabric on our website, splashfabric.com. My job is to take the guesswork out of what to make. Happy sewing!